Vanakkam Tamil Nadu. Nalla irukingla. The elections are done in Tamil Nadu, and today we are going to talk about the Tamil Nadu politics itself, and predominantly we are going to focus on Tamil Nadu's Dalit politics. Now, why am I talking about this Dalit politics in Tamil Nadu? See, first of all, if there is any state which has actually pioneered in this backward class politics or Dalit politics, it has been Tamil Nadu. Now we'll look at that because the backward class movement, it has been very extensive in Tamil Nadu. But of late, especially in the last 1 decade, there have been certain developments because of which I can tell that Dalit politics is actually heading into oblivion. Dalit political parties are heading into oblivion. So we are going to talk about Dalit politics in this particular video and understand what exactly is happening to Dalit political parties, what is happening to Dalits as a vote base, and there is some peculiar development. There is a competition with the other backward classes, obviously, but apart from that, there is some development from the mainstream political parties in Tamil Nadu, especially DMK and AIDMK, because of which I can say that Dalit politics is slowly and steadily heading into oblivion. So let's analyze what is happening here and get some information. And if you're from political science and international relations, this becomes an important topic for you to understand politics. And at the end of the discussion, I will tell you how to improve this, or perhaps you can give a suggestion to me. How can I improve this particular situation that is going on in Tamil Nadu? So let's begin our talk. And I am your friend Rahul Saigaonkar. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on the ID Rahul Sai 222. If you have any queries, any doubts, you can directly message me on Instagram. I do reply on weekends. And if you're preparing for UPSC Civil Services examination, we have a great news for you. We have a smart course which includes both prelims and mains. You can prepare sitting at your home itself, right? So please avail these services. Just visit studyiq.com or download the app from Google Play Store and understand more about these smart courses and avail the services. And do not forget to subscribe to Study IQ. Right, let's talk about the news. Now, as I told you, Tamil Nadu's Dalit politics, it has reached crossroads right now. Now, what is happening in Tamil Nadu? See, there are mainstream parties, and when I talk about mainstream parties, it is the Dravida Munnetra Kadagam and AIADMK, right? All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kadagam, right? Now, these parties, they are actually wary of independent Dalit identity politics. And what they are doing is they are trying to co-opt or eventually corrupt or coerce these Dalit political parties and Dalit candidates to get into the mainstream. Now, it is very, very true that mainstream political parties are actually running after Dalit icons. Now, we all know, not just DMK or AIDMK, it's BJP also, Congress also, everybody is running after Dalit icons, predominantly Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Now, apart from that, in Tamil Nadu, if we talk about some Dalit icons, we can talk about the SNDP movement, we can talk about the self-respect movement, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar or Periyar. Everybody is running after all these leaders to accommodate Dalit voters, to accommodate basically Dalit politics. But there has to be something which is very observable here. Slowly and steadily, they are whittling down the voter base of independent Dalit parties in the state. Now, let's look at the Dalit politics in Tamil Nadu and let's try to understand what has been the legacy of Dalit movement. Now, if I talk about one particular state which has been a great pioneer of backward class movement or the Dalit class movement, it is the state of Tamil Nadu. Now, right from the beginning of the 20th century, we can talk about Justice Party, now which has been a stalwart in terms of providing reservation to the backward classes. Now, when I talk about the Dalit movement here, please try to understand I am including both the backward class movement as well as Dalit movement here in Tamil Nadu, right? First, it was the Justice Party. Later on, it was the British policies because Madras Presidency, it saw a lot of labor union politics over the Buckingham and the Carnatic mills. Here, you can talk about many strikes in Buckingham Mill as well as the Carnatic Mill for representation of the backward classes, right, in the mill management or better rights for the laborers. Apart from that, we can talk about the Great Temple Entry movement in 1930s, 1940s in Tamil Nadu and the well-known self-respect movement which is led by our beloved Periyar, right, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. Apart from this, if I talk about 1930s and 40s, we have seen a different political movement, Dalit movement or the backward class movement in Tamil Nadu through the Madras Scheduled Caste Federation movement, which was more or less a challenge to the Indian National Congress there. And in 1940s, we do know because of the efforts of Periyar, eventually the Dravid nationalist movement, or I would say the Dravid identity politics, did emerge through the evolution of Dravid Munnetra Kadagam, now which eventually got bifurcated. We do know about the DMK and AIADMK, which are the mainstream political parties today. Now, this particular state of Tamil Nadu has a great history of Dalit movement. But what exactly is happening right now, especially in the last decade or so? Let's try to observe. Now, if I talk about the Dalit voters or Dalit voter base in Tamil Nadu, there are three major Dalit castes. Now, there is one caste, Parayar caste or associated Parayar caste, which are predominantly found in northern and central parts of Tamil Nadu. And these Parayar castes they are represented by their own, I would say, political party, that is the Viduthalai Chirutagal Kachi, now which is led by Thirumavalan. Now you must remember Thirumavalan. We had discussed about Thirumavalan a couple of months back when he quoted a controversy by commenting something on the Manusmriti. But nonetheless, we are discussing here about the VCK party, which is led by Thirumavalan, which represents the Parayar caste. That means one stream of the Dalits. Now, apart from Parayar, there are Palars and associated caste. Now, the name for these Palars and associated caste has been changed now by the ruling central government, that is the BJP party, and they have named it as Devendra Kula Velalar, right? Devendra Kula Velalar, to all the castes or categories which come under the Palars and the associated caste. And these people are also represented by one political party, that is the Puthiya Tamilagam. Now, this is led by Dr. Krishna Swamy. That means two major Dalit categories have been represented, the Parayar by the VCK, the Palars by the PT by Dr. Krishna Swamy. There is another smaller number minority, that is Arundathiyars. Now, Arundathiyars are smaller in number, and that is why they have not gained a lot of importance electorally. Now, they have not been able to establish their own political outfit. That means they vote according to their requirements. They either vote to DMK or AIADMK or some other smaller parties or independent candidates based on their own local requirements. Now, this is the stream of Dalit politics in Tamil Nadu. Now, what are the challenges in front of this Dalit politics? The first challenge is the Dalits versus the OBC discourse. Now, I told you about three major streams of Dalit politics. The Parayars, which are found in northern and central Tamil Nadu, they are now being challenged by the Vanniyars. And these Vanniyars, they are the most backward classes in Tamil Nadu. They have their own political party. So that means the Parayars, or I would say VCK of Thirumavalan, they are now entering into a multi-cornered contest, where they are now fighting with DMK, the mainstream parties, DMK, AIADMK, and the other backward caste parties like the Pattali Makkal Kachi. Apart from that, the Palars, or the now so-called now Devendra Kula Velalars, they face a major challenge from the Thewar community. Now, please remember that Thewar community is majorly found in south, and they are getting a challenge from this. And both of these are represented very well in the mainstream parties DMK and AIADMK. And I told you about the third stream, Arundathiyars. Now, Arundathiyars, they are, I would say, in a more minority status, and they are politically marginal. So, they are not facing any challenge as of now, but right now, they have a big threat of getting into oblivion, especially politically and electorally. Now, the first challenge is from the OBCs, or the most backward classes. Now, the second challenge is something which is very strange. Now, let's look at the Dalit politics. Now, Dalits in general in Tamil Nadu have voted predominantly for the established mainstream parties. Now, what are the established mainstream parties? There is DMK, Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. There is AIADMK. AIADMK, when I say AIADMK, they have allied with Bharatiya Janata Party. Then there is Congress, there are communists, and they have voted according to the requirements. Although small amount wherever in the pockets in the northern and central Tamil Nadu, wherever VCK is prominent, Thirumavalan is prominent, they do vote for VCK and their own PT parties. And in some areas, there are some Dalit leaders who have influence in one or two assembly constituencies. Like, for instance, I can talk about Tamil Arasan, right, from the Republican Party of India, who was the former MLA in Tamil Nadu, not representing any of these parties. So, such leaders are there, but they do not matter too much electorally. Now, what happens here is that there is a two-cornered contest always, DMK, AIADMK, and the Dalit parties, they ally with one or the other. Now, if we look at the Dalit leaders or Dalit parties, they have been more or less merged into the mainstream parties, and the other parties like the VCK and the PT, they have marginal presence in Tamil Nadu. Now, if I look at the analysis of candidates which are fielded by these mainstream parties, DMK and AIADMK, they have mostly reserved themselves to the reserved constituencies. That means the candidates who are from Dalit background, they are put into reserved constituencies. Let me just give you some numbers. In 2016, the Dravida Munnetra Kadagam, it fielded 37 Dalit candidates. Now, there are 46 reserved constituencies in Tamil Nadu, right? 44 from SCs and 2 from STs. Now, out of that, 37 from DMK, they were in the reserved constituencies only. That means nobody in general category. 9 were given to their allies. Now, in 2021, this year, the election is done and dusted now. DMK has fielded only 21 from reserved constituencies. That means within Dravida Munnetra Kadagam also, the Dalit presence is reducing. Now, that has reduced from 37 to 21, and they are trying to give more and more seat to their allies. Now, remember, this year in 2021, they have denied tickets to 6 sitting Dalit MLAs. AIADMK has done a little better. They have fielded 30 candidates, again from reserved constituencies, but they have also denied 8 tickets to sitting MLAs. Probably they are fearful that if the ticket is given again, then they might enhance their stature, and these Dalit leaders, they can challenge others in DMK and AIADMK. Probably that might be the feeling. Now, apart from this, if you look at the mainstream political parties, they are more or less led by the OBC community and not by the Dalit community, right? Now, if we look at the numbers in the last decade, only once in 2011, AIADMK, it dared to field one candidate, one Dalit candidate from a general constituency that was in Pallavaram way back in 2011. So this clearly shows that, first of all, Dalits are marginalized electorally. Whoever they are represented by, be it VCK or the PT, they have marginal presence. Now, apart from that, the mainstream political parties, Dravida Munnetra Kadagam and AIADMK, they are also marginalizing them within the party also. Now, if we look at the numbers, now Dalit parties, when I talk about Dalit parties, now I'm talking about VCK and the PT, Puthiya Tamilagam, right? Both of them have had marginal presence. And what have they done is they do not have any independent identity. They have fought elections in alliance with the DMK or AIADMK. Now, if you look at 2011, the VCK was with the DMK. They lost the election and they got 0 seats. The PT in 2011, they were with AIADMK, which was the winning alliance, and they won 2 seats, mere 2 seats. Now, in 2016, the VCK did not go with DMK or AIADMK. They contested as third front. They fought on 25 seats and again, they got 0. The PT, they too drew a blank. That means they also got a 0 despite being in alliance. They changed the allegiances this time. Earlier, they were with AIADMK. Now with DMK, again, they got 0. From 2, they came down to 0. And this time, VCK again has got 6 seats to contest. They are in the DMK alliance, and the PT, they are going alone in the election. And now the results will come on May 2nd, and you will see more or less the results would be similar to whatever has happened in the last decade. Now, what I'm trying to tell here is that the Dalit political parties, predominantly VCK and PT, they have not been able to maintain their own individual identity. And that is why they have had very, very marginal presence, and slowly and steadily their presence is actually declining more and more. And when you compare this to the mainstream political parties, they have some Dalit representation, but that representation is also going down continuously, right? Apart from this, there is a big problem here. Now, if you observe here, I told you that Dalit politics itself is fractured. Now, you can see here the difference between VCK and PT itself. VCK and PT do not see eye to eye on many of the issues, because one party is closer to AIADMK, the other party is closer to DMK. Many a times, this party has gone even closer to Bharatiya Janata Party. So, they do not see eye to eye. There is no unity in Dalit politics. That is also leading to their own decline. Now, added to all this, there is one particular very, very important issue in Tamil Nadu. Now, Dalit politics in general is facing a lot of threat. It has fractured, first of all. VCK and PT do not see eye to eye. In the major parties, they are declining continuously. And what they are facing is an insistence from the mainstream parties. Predominantly, this happened with AIADMK in 2016. Now, AIADMK, what it did in 2016 was, whoever were their allies, now VCK or PT or whoever the Dalit parties are there, smaller Dalit parties, other parties, they asked all the party candidates, all the allies also, to contest on their own symbol. That is a 2-leaf symbol of AIADMK. They asked them to contest on this. That means if this is done, again, slowly and steadily, they are going to completely lose the political identity, right? So overall, what is the conclusion of this discussion? The conclusion from this is that Dalit politics in Tamil Nadu is declining, and the mainstream political parties are slowly and steadily whittling down the influence of Dalit voters and Dalit leaders also. Now, I told you what can be a suggestion to improve this. Just think for a couple of seconds and you can come up with something called as the representative system. Now, right now we have the first past the post system, because of which the voters, obviously Dalits are in minority, so even if they contest individually, the winnability is very, very low. So if there is something called as a representative system, that means a proportional representative system. Whatever votes you get that amount of seats in the legislature. So that can be one of the options which we have always explored. Now, if you are preparing for UPSC civil service examination, do analyze that, is it better to move towards a proportional representation system? What are the problems in moving to proportional representation system? Because although representation would be better, that means whatever proportion of votes Dalits get, that proportion of seats will be represented in the assembly of Tamil Nadu. But what are the cons also? What are the problems with the system? Do analyze that. But nonetheless, what can we take out of this particular discussion is that Dalit politics is on decline in Tamil Nadu, and if it continues, they are going to get into oblivion very, very soon. That's it from my side on this part of discussion. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.